This update with the Dallas Cowboys was the most Cowboys news that we could have gotten about a week from the draft. Jordan Schultz reported there's a belief among teams at the top of the draft that the Cowboys, who have picks at 12 and 20, are a team to watch in trade-up scenarios, according to multiple league sources. Several teams have said they believe Dallas is targeting a player the Giants also covet, and getting ahead of them would be ideal if the price makes sense. This is the most Cowboys headline, because not only is it before anyone else has been reported wanting to move up that they're interested in reporting up, but the fact that this is the added layer that they're mostly enticed by the fact that they have to beat the Giants out to get a specific player. The rumor is it's Sonny Styles. The rumor is that the Giants like Sonny Styles. They're thinking about it, and it'd be very Jerry Jones-ish to think, oh my God, we have to get Sonny Styles if the Giants are thinking of taking him. I don't want Sonny Styles, not because I don't think he's a good football player, but I think it's redundant to have two gigantic linebackers that are the same physical profile. It's just a little bit wonky. But what do you make of this news? Who do you think that they would actually go up and trade for if they theoretically moved up to pick 4, maybe pick 6 or somewhere else?
Well, first of all, Sonny Styles, the name alone sounds like a player who would intrigue Jerry Jones. It's a football name. It's a great football name. And I think Jerry understands branding, marketing, and what the Dallas Cowboys mean to people. And if you get a Sonny Styles in there and you can have 5 million people wearing a jersey that says Styles and it's a Cowboys uniform and they think that means that they have style, I think Jerry makes that connection because football fans are dumb. And that is from a dumb football fan. But you all would love to wear a jersey that says Styles on the back. They're not going to trade up and get an offensive lineman.
No.
They're not going to trade up and get...
this would be a defensive player. Their defense was cheeks last year. You'd be going up to get Arvell Reese, Styles, Caleb Downs, or David Bailey. Maybe Ruben Bain. Maybe they think that they can benefit from a little bit of a Ruben Bain slide.
What about this Mansour DeLeone guy? Would they trade up for him? I feel weird. I would never trade up for a corner. That's just me. It just feels like... I don't know. Maybe I would. Maybe I should, because if I traded up and I got Derek Stingley or the equivalent of, I would be pretty happy. But I just don't see that happen.
I don't think DeLeone is Stingley level, but I do think that DeLeone is a really, really good football player that is going to be a lockdown corner. That would be the most Cowboys thing possible, would be trading up to 4 and having multiple of those players that I just mentioned that are considered to be the blue chip guys, and then drafting Mansour DeLeone, who probably could still be on the board for them at 12, or if they traded to like pick 8 or 9, they could have gone up and gotten them.
Here's what's dumb about this. We've gone through the Cowboys defensive depth chart. Mm-hmm. We've gone through it. We've analyzed Dallas. They don't just need one guy. They need 2 first-round guys. And hopefully those 2 first-round guys turn into starters for them.
Right.
You need 2. You don't just need one. You're not just 1 star away. You're 2 B+ A- players from being like serviceable on defense. That defense was so bad last year, and it's arrogant to ignore depth. It is arrogant of the Cowboys to think that they are in a trade-up situation. You are in a pick where you're at situation. They draft well, too. Golly, 12 and 20 should get you 2 starters if you're the Dallas Cowboys.
See, I'm conflicted because what you're saying I align with. I'm conflicted because Jerry is not getting any younger, and I think that he has an aspiration to see one more Super Bowl before he's done.
Done or done?
He's gone. He's old. He's very old.
Gone from the team or gone from the planet?
Gone from the planet.
Okay, gotcha.
I think that he recognizes, based on how he's operated with some of these aggressive moves that he's made. He's also just generally been an impulsive decision maker. I think that if you are, to your point, they're not 1 star away. If you trade up, you could end up getting a player that goes on to become a defensive player of the year caliber guy, a Caleb Downs, a Sonny Styles, an Arvell Reese. Any of those guys would be Micah Parsons level, in my opinion, at their respective positions. Top 5 at their positions, maybe even in the contention to become top 1 at their various positions.
I would agree with you on Downs.
But I think that what plagued them, and it would completely go against his whole premise of trading away Micah Parsons, his whole premise and what a lot of Cowboys fans argued that justified the trade was that we were too heavy on committing to him and being reliant on Micah Parsons being the catalyst for our defensive success, that the rest of the defensive roster was completely cooked and was unbalanced. So to your point, yeah, if you have to trade up and you got to use that second first-round pick to move up, I think that's stupid. I think that where you sit at pick 12 and at pick 20, it gives you a chance to draft Keldrick Falk and to draft Colton Hood. And while that's not David Bailey or Reese or any of those guys, you're still getting closer to the final approach of having roster balance. Superstars don't win you Super Bowls. Balanced rosters win you Super Bowls. The Seattle Seahawks are an example of that.
I would try to replicate that the best that I can. What they did with their defense, building a physical back end, so important. And then just not a lot of, you're right, there's not a lot of superstars on that defense. There's not a lot of big names. It's just defensive players executing a scheme. I am nervous about Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles because the tall, uber athletic linebacker, I've seen them get overdrafted before.
Give examples.
Isaiah Simmons, the freak.
He's not Isaiah Simmons. Neither of them are Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons.
I just don't think the NFL knows how to use these guys yet.
But they're not even close to this. Isaiah Simmons was a safety that was converted to linebacker that did not have enough experience playing linebacker and did not have the eyes or the instincts to play linebacker. And he was able to make big plays while at Clemson just because he was a freak athlete. Sonny Styles played a lot more football than Isaiah Simmons, and he has a lot more of a track and a path to shining as an inside linebacker because his final year, he was incredibly instinctual. Like his film is loaded with him processing and flowing downhill without any hesitation. Arvell Reese, despite not playing that much, has vastly better instincts than Isaiah Simmons when he was coming out. And I argue that it's a lot more valuable to have a linebacker hybrid that is off ball to line of scrimmage compared to off ball to back end as a coverage player. Back end,
I would agree at that point. I would agree
because it's just too ambiguous trying to get those guys to operate in a more confined space. At the very least, if he really, really stinks and struggles off ball, which I don't think is going to happen because he's got a lot of context of looking really, really good when he is just standing up as an outside backer, he can eventually just become an average level pass rusher that's just sent off the edge like a missile. I think that there's a high floor to Reese, which is not discussed about often. Both these players have high floors. They're not Isaiah Simmons. I'm telling you right now.
I worry.